This is Jeff Bessa from Charting Horse Value. Going to do a unique video today. A lot of customers have asked me to run Royal Ascot, run my charts for that meet this week. It's very rare that I can run my charts for international racing meets, but this is one I can. I do get the data in the proper format, so I can run it. But there's a lot of data missing, and I just want to be clear on what you can rely on and what you can't rely on. And I will say that I've used these charts effectively at Royal Ascot in the past. So listen close. All right. So first, what I'm basically going to do is just quickly go through the columns and tell you what you can rely on and what you can't rely on. So this little 2, the race rating score, that's okay. It basically depends on a bunch of different factors, and it's not as reliable as normal, but probably the relative change you see from race to race. So this is a 2, pretty average. If you see a 3 or 4, that's probably a better race to bet on, but it's not the same as a 2 in America or a 4 in America. Okay, so, but it's still probably relatively useful. The fitness, the N or Q, you can get an N or Q here. That's meaningless. The workout data doesn't exist for European horses. So pretty much if you get a Q, it's not a major factor at all. The number next to it is the layoff. That's significant. I mean, so this horse I call coming off a 7-month layoff. The form cycle is significant. So this is horses making second or third start off the layoff. I think that's significant. The trainer jockey is not significant. Basically, most of these trainers jockeys have no data in the available unless they have raced in America. So you see Corobus has a 14-14. Both the trainer and jockey have been in America. Mighty Ulysses has a -1 and 11. The jockey's been in America. Not quite as good a jockey as Corobus when he was there, or she. Light Infantry, 13 -2. The trainer has been in America. This horse I call 4-9. Both have been in America, but not as good as these other ones. And all these -1, -2s, there's just no data at all. So I would not rely on the jockey trainer data much at all. Although I think it's useful to know which trainers and jockeys have been in America, especially international trainers and jockeys, because that probably means they're of a pretty high quality. The pace is basically irrelevant unless it's an American horse. So you're going to see a lot of U9s. It just basically means we don't know anything about their preferred running style based on the data. Early speed, late speed, you're going to see a lot of zeros. If you see anything other than a 0, like for example, here in race 6, you see some other ones, zeros. Those horses have raced in America, so they can get a figure. The PFDS percentage is pretty useful. The P and the F is not very useful, but the D and the S certainly are. And so I think the relative change, so this is a 0.9 to a 0.7, that's useful, to note that. Going down here, this is a 20 furlong race on the turf. All these horses with really low numbers have never raced that long. This 0.6s have probably raced a lot closer to that 20 furlongs. So, there's some benefit to it, but not a ton. The 2 most important columns are the PFDS odds and best odds. Those are perfectly reliable, and you can look at that to see approximately the horse's chance of winning. So a 10-1 horse has a 1 out of 11 shot of winning. Okay, a 6-1 horse has a 1 out of 7 shot of winning. So you can look at that, and you can look at the post-time odds and try to look for some value. Same thing, the best odds isolates on a specific race and compares horses to one another. That's also useful. This value column relative to the morning line, I think, is useful. The rank column, these first 2 columns are all going to be ties a lot of the time. So that's inflating all these horses' letter grades. So the letter grades, really are not reliable at all. C's probably should be blanks. B's probably should be C's. The relative change is maybe a little bit meaningful, but you're going to see almost every horse in every race get a letter grade, and that's not accurate. But the relative change from one letter grade to another is somewhat meaningful. I would definitely be focusing on PFDS odds and best odds and value, and pretty much that's it. These are the three things to really focus on, not the rank column, not the ABC letter grade, and very little on this other stuff. But maybe the form cycle is useful. Obviously, look at the layoff. Maybe look to see if any international trainers or international jockeys have raced in America. Those are probably pretty good trainers and jockeys. Slight look at the PFDS percentage. Okay, so hopefully I've helped you decipher how to look at the charts. It's actually easier. Pretty much just look at PFDS odds and a little bit of best odds and look at value, and then look at the tote. All right, I hope I helped. Any questions, shoot me an email, info@chartinghorsevalue.com. And let's have some fun betting in the morning here at Royal Ascot. Take care.